Good day, dear friend. Good day. Good day. How are you? Welcome, welcome in, welcome aboard. Come on in, sit down, walk right in, sit right down. Baby, let your hair hang down. Walk right in, sit right down. Baby, let your mind, whatever the hell it was. Everybody's talking about a new way of walking. Do you want to lose your mind? Walk right in, sit right down, baby. Whatever this. I can remember when I was a little kid hearing that song and wondering, what is this? This is it? Walk right in, sit down. Okay. My friends, I'm so happy you are here. So happy. Welcome. Welcome aboard. Welcome to this thing of ours. Welcome. Welcome. I'm telling you, this is it. I don't even know where to start. First, I got to talk to you about something. There is a word, my friend, that I don't want to use. I don't want to be overtly scatological or offensive, but the word is bullshit. And it is so perfect because it's been used with such frequency. And it's so perfect. It tells you exactly what I feel. It tells you exactly what my thoughts are. It tells you exactly what my feelings are. It's perfect. We don't really mean that. It's not filthy in the least. And he said, or excuse me, and two things. First, they actually released Epstein's suicide letter. Stop insulting me. Stop. Just don't insult my intelligence. Stop it. Number two, Alan Dershowitz said that Epstein was not a pedophile or a PDF file, whatever, because that's prepubescent. He was into like 16-year-old. This is the genius. This is the Harvard law professor. This is the genius. Can you imagine saying that? Can you imagine saying that? It's this thing where you figure I can say whatever I want because I'm a genius. I'm Alan Dershowitz. And what I say is per se. Okay. I'm going to say something to you right now. It's not necessarily age is normally a means by which we just look, we don't have time to get to the bottom of it. People should not be in this type of endeavor who are not able to understand and grasp the mechanics, the intimacy, the emotions, and so normally what we do is we will say, well, we have to pick, we normally pick an age, like we pick a speed limit, something, a blood alcohol level, something. We come up with a level. I'm going to submit that when you engage in that particular activity and you are too young, or you may be 18 years old, you might be 19 years old, and you may be intellectually, spiritually, and emotionally immature, it can be devastating. Do you hear what I'm saying? Devastating. It can be devastating. It can forever change your way of thinking. It can hurt you, harm you, and women in particular. I don't want to go into detail, but there's a lot of women out there whose first encounter was that born of what they believe to be deception or connivance or a violation, not in the classic battery sense. And today's children are so immature, more so than when I was. Let me tell you something. We were far more, I will say this, sexually mature. When I mean that, I mean by we understood. It wasn't this, I think it was different. It was a different time. Even though we theoretically we weren't more homespun. I grew up in a time during, the Summer of Love was 1967, right? So, and there was Hugh Hefner's Playboy. There's a revolution. It was experimentation. It was expression. It was a different mindset. We never heard of children being involved in anything. We never, ever, ever heard anything about it. Never. It never came up. It was never even mentioned. So when we were 15, 16, whatever it was a different world. Again, it might be too early, but today's children, today's young people are so immature, and some women are so immature, intellectually, spiritually, emotionally, unsophisticated. So Dershowitz is just completely full of it. Why would you even say that? Have you ever been someplace? By the way, this is something you have to teach your kids. There are sometimes things where you cannot possibly explain. Okay? You can't explain what you think you're saying. You can't. That's number one. Number two, they actually put out a letter. That says this is Epstein's suicide letter. Actually put it out. They're laughing their ass off. They're laughing at you. They think you are beyond stupid. They think you are the most stupid thing anybody's ever seen. It is a joke. Tartaglione, look at the fellow who he was sharing the cell with. The cop who was on death row for killing people and burying them on his property. This is the guy they put in who already had some problems with Epstein. Already had problems. In fact, roughed them up. I mean, it's like do me a favor. Just don't lie to me. Just don't say anything, but don't lie to me. And the people are so stupid. And I cannot find anybody in my circle who knows the first thing about what's happening in Iran. Nothing. I saw this guy, this interview. I don't ask me why. It was, Victor David Hansen. Victor David Hansen is such a shill. And he says nuclear. He is such a shill. He's with the, have you seen Casagrande? The guy was it Wayne Casagrande? It's Casagrande. It's on with Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan is so stupid. He doesn't even understand when they're handing him his ass. He doesn't understand it. I don't know what they're talking about. The Strait of Hormuz is not international water. It's 12 miles in. Iran's got a half. Oman's got the other. I don't even know. Nobody that knows. We're doing great. Trump is going to say, we're great. We won. Let's go. We won. Hey, did we win? Yeah. Come on, let's go. Are you going to raise the sanctions? Wait a minute. They're going to get this. You know who's going to go berserk? Mark Levin is going to go berserk. When they say no more sanctions, nope, we're done. Keep your own. We don't care about we're done with this. We have had it. Did you see Lutnick brought in before the questioning about Epstein? I mean, this is incredible. Do you see what's going on right now? Don Jr. or who is it wants to now? Oh, no. Excuse me. The Pope is coming after the president. And I've got these friends who think for some reason that they're just because they're supposed to, everything Trump does, they're supposed to say, oh, that's brilliant. They say, wait a minute. What are you talking about? Oh, no, he's great. He's brilliant. 4D chess, my ass. What are you talking about? And I can't believe Victor Davis Hansen is an absolute shill. And he's a historian. Look, let me tell you something right now. You want the truth from me. Grandpa's going to give you the truth, damn it. And in my generation, we had Vietnam, and we heard everybody from John Wayne to whatever tell us we're doing great. We're stopping and we're addressing and we're what the hell am I trying to say? Communism. It's a domino effect. Don't you understand? The communists are going to go straight through Indochina, up through Thailand and Formosa and the Philippines and Japan. We got to stop it. And they believed it. And they fell in for that same bullshit, the way people all of a sudden have this this crazed, they're nuts about Iran. Iran to them is the worst thing ever. The worst thing ever. It's like, this is your concern? Iran? You're kidding me. Answer a question. How many of you people seriously believe that Iran poses any kind of an existential threat to us? I mean, not a potential threat, but a real threat. I mean, they're just gunning. They're saying, you give us this nuke and we're going to Cleveland, we're going to own you. We're taking Cleveland out. How many believe that? Who believes this? Who honestly ever thought? I'm serious. Who? Tell me. Nobody thinks this. Nobody thinks this. If you watch Fox News, you'll just think that, because I don't know why. You just think stuff like that. It's bizarre. The lying. Bobby Kennedy Jr. starts to talk about geoengineering a little bit. He said it was DARPA. Say, don't say where it's from. Now they're going to deny it. And what they're doing is they're saying, well, it's not DARPA. I didn't deny geoengineering, and never call it chemtrails. Never, ever, 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 ever call it chemtrails. Never. We don't say that. It's geoengineering. Look at chemtrails, look it up, Google it, whatever it is. Oh, it's a conspiracy theory. Go to geoengineering, it's been around forever. From Operation Popeye all the way back to cloud seeding. And Gates believes in it. Harvard believes in it. MIT believes in it. What are they? So finally, and Bobby Kennedy's not doing enough. I don't know what it is. I think they're scared of him or something. I don't think Bobby Kennedy, I don't know what he's doing. Do you know what he's doing? What is he doing? What's going on here? It's like everybody's kind of like the people like petering out. You got this stupid Kash Patel. By the way, see a picture of Kash Patel with Laura Loomer? There's a picture of them together. Nah. 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 Imagine them going at it. Oh. That would probably be a violation of some law somewhere. Zoophilia, bestiality, I don't know what. Dear God. And they're standing together, and Cash is saying, we have threats against you from Iran. Would you stop that? Would you stop that? Do you think Iran gives a shit about Laura Loomer? She should be so lucky. She's on the skids. She's on the edge. She's going to be on the balls of her arse pretty soon, because everybody realizes she's a 100% certified nutcase. And Trump's going to say, that's it. Get rid of her. Susie Wiles can't wait to get rid of her because she's batshit crazy, which leads me to my stuff, which is going on. Can you believe that TPUSA and Daily Wire is spending all this time focused on Candace? Lawsuits. I did a video today. I hope you saw it. On some very dangerous stuff out there. You see, in the world of libel, you can really get yourself into trouble. Big time trouble by having certain forms of libel. Libel per se, you want to stay away from that. That is not good. And that is exactly what they're doing. I cannot believe they're doing this. They are doing this. They're going after her husband, Candace's husband, him, George. What the hell does George have to do with anything? What? Seriously, George Farmer? Now let me explain something to you. This is really good. This is good stuff, and I'm sure Candace has good lawyers, and she knows this. A little bit of background. Libel, theoretically, on the books, this is if you were doing a little bar exam question, is a statement of fact. It's not an opinion. It's not an utterance. It's a statement of fact that is false, that causes damages. It is defamatory because it is a statement that is alleged to be a fact that is false and causes damages. If it's ever spoken, it's slander. I don't know anybody who even does slander anymore, but libel is important, and libel is critical, and libel is different because libel is recorded. And recorded used to mean a book. Used to be a book. Used to be something written down. Then the idea was that, well, it's not so much the fact that it's a book because a book is recorded. Then it was magazines, and then it was radio, and then it was because that is kept and played over. That's not spoken. And so everything right now is recorded because it has a susceptibility of being repeated, to be brought up again, to be heard again. It's recorded. And it just goes on and on. So that's why libel is considered more dangerous because it's recorded. Okay, fine. Statement of fact, false, causes damages. The thing that you have to do, if you say, this is my thing. They told me that this man said that absolutely about this about me, that I'm a communist. Well, what happened? I lost my job. Are you a communist? No. Okay. The statement doesn't have to be bad. Doesn't have to be bad. It could just be wrong. You could say, for example, he never went to college. Well, if the person's a physician, that means something a little bit different, even though there's nothing wrong with not going to college. In this case, it does. So it's not necessarily what you say, but it's the context. It's like, what does it mean? It's a statement of fact that's false, causes me damages. We have a thing called libel per quod, Q-U-O-D. That's pretty good. That's where you're libeled by inference, by, for you said, well, a certain YouTube star who was an apparent, it was a frequent guest on the Joe Rogan show, who was from the Nashville area, whose last name rhymes with Ron, and then, okay, I Theo Vaughn, okay, good. And so by inference, you got to, or somebody was seen with somebody, not his wife. Well, what does that mean? Well, I think you know what that means at 3 a.m. What does that mean? Wow. So, but the worst is libel per se. Ooh, this is a good one. And I can't believe that all Candace is talking about, everybody, is these lawsuits and going after her husband, going after George. I don't know George. I've never met Candace. But doesn't George look like have you seen him? He's this nice British guy. They're saying he was a DUI and this and that and a gun and they hit a car. Now remember, if all that's true, and it doesn't seem to be, that's the way it is. But my God, you're going after him. What did he do? Okay, Candace is one thing, maybe. What did George do? And like she said very carefully, they want to destroy her family. They want him to be sent back. He is an immigrant. If he lied to the officials about being arrested for all this stuff, that could invalidate his whatever it is and send him back and break up her family. And let me tell you something. she will cut your balls off. She basically said, I saw red. And women do this. You're going after a woman's family. You're going after their children's daddy, your husband, your unit, your family. You sure you want to do this with Candace? You sure? Do you have a death wish? What is the matter with you? Are you sure about this? You're sure about this? Candace Owens, you really want to do this? Okay. Now, if you happen to bring up the following accusations, damages are presumed. What does that mean? That means that if you make a false statement, about somebody, a statement of fact, that's false. But if the following categories, number one, commission of a crime, and if it involves moral turpitude, like a felony, but a crime, you committed a crime, armed robbery, DWI, property damage, leaving the scene, that is a crime. And if it's false, then the jury says, you know what? You don't have to prove any damages. You don't have to prove anything. You don't say, well, don't you want to hear how this affected me? No. We'll just go now to how much we're going to give you. Damages are presumed. Remember, it's always injury plus liability. Whenever you're in a personal injury case, you got to prove you were injured. You were liable, you were negligent, and I was hurt. Okay, prove it. What? Prove it. Prove how you were hurt. Bring in the doctor, show the, whatever, blah, 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 blah. You got that? Okay. But in this case, if you, this is critical. If you find yourself actually involved in bring charges of crimes, second, a loathsome disease. Oh, it's number two. That used to be leprosy, venereal disease. Then it was AIDS. Might also be, believe it or not, I don't know if that's true or not, mental illness. So then, if you listen to some of the stuff that Laura Loomer said about George, oh my God, he's a drunk. So you're calling him a drunk? Gets into accidents, DWI? And you talk about the commission of a crime. You're saying that maybe he paid people off to cover this stuff up? Oh, that's another one. Boom, 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 boom. So crimes, loathsome disease. They used to have one, by the way, which is to accuse a woman of being of unchaste character. We don't do that one anymore. But that was a big deal. You're a hooah. That's it. So by virtue of the fact, now Tennessee, where they live, does not have libel per se. Florida does. That's where Laura Loomer lives. If you go to federal court, then you've got to use the law of where the actual crime, I had a wonderful little blueberry bar. It's very good. You have to go to where you have to use the law of where you are. So it's very complicated. Could be Tennessee law, which doesn't have libel per se, but has other things too. You have to, you go to federal court. If you go to federal court, you have two people from different states, and the amount of controversy is over 75,000. That's called diversity jurisdiction. Hey, everybody, it's Raul. Say hello to Raul. It's his birthday today. Raul, you big lug. God bless you, my friend. So all I know is this. This is serious stuff. I'm so sorry. This is serious stuff. Now, did Candace, is she alleged to have committed any kind of libel, maybe, against Brigitte Macron? You get the feeling that case is going nowhere? That case is going absolutely nowhere. Going nowhere. Because it's just, I think somebody's going to say very wisely, Brigitte, are you sure you want to do this? Do you really want to go after her? No. Now, next. What words do you know, do you have, do you feel that explains the absolute disgusting, this backbiting, this horrible, I'm so sorry, this horrible lawsuits and sniping? How miserable is this Ben Shapiro? How miserable. These people with their going after Candace, their whole thing. No wonder Daily Wire is falling apart, because they don't care about anything but Candace Owens. It's like their whole world fell apart. What is TPUSA doing? What is Erica doing? What are they doing? Right now, they should be doing something to at least pretend that maybe they're, involved in helping people, carrying on Charlie's mission. It blows my mind. And I'm thinking to myself, this is it right here. So if anybody asks me, well, because you might get this sometimes, say, what is your thing with Candace Owens? Why is this so interesting? You're missing the biggest story in the world. What the hell's the matter with you? What do you mean, what's going on with Candace Owens? It's the greatest story in the world. You've got these miserable people. But you would think, if anything, they would say, we're going to give them back Charlie. We're not going to talk about this. Ignore her. Don't keep talking about her. All we're doing is making her more and more and more hunted, mistreated, targeted. We're giving her a platform. We created this. And this Ben Shapiro, what a sniveling little twit. And let me tell you what's going to happen. I don't know where he's from. Okay. I don't know who pays him, what purpose he serves, but somebody is going to ask themselves, is Ben Shapiro helping us or hurting us? And I think they will find out Ben is hurting us because people hate this guy. He's annoying. He's a sniveling rat. He's just, nobody says, hey, there's Ben. Hey. Look, I don't want to talk about voices and things like that. In my baritone, if I hear that Joe Pesci thing, I've heard this, what are you going to do? But in radio, but my best, by the way, somebody called me one time, they said, Curly Howard on Benzedrine. But you know what's interesting about my voice on radio? Everybody says, you'll know it. He goes, how do I know this guy's on? You'll know. Does he sound like radio? No. And I work with all these friends with these voices. I know a friend of mine, Jeff Lawrence. His voice is like from God. He's done every voice there is. AI is probably going to just remove all of it. But anyway, greatest voice ever. And then there's me. But I'm different. But the thing is, you love me. See, I've got at least a personality. I'll laugh. I'll make you laugh. I have some. It's just, you know what I mean? I'm delightfully quirky, ooky. Or the little man, the mookie, mysterious and ooky, are all together ooky. The Addams family. This is the thing which, but with Ben, it's nothing. It's sniveling. He's making fun of everybody, up to and including making fun of how Candace mispronounces a word. It's like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding? I mean, but that's all he's got. And then they actually use and they resurrect her old shows on Daily Wire, whatever it is, and horrible what they do. And they do this thing where they figure that he also goes after Theo Vaughn. This is what Theo Vaughn? Are you kidding me? He's like the Christ child. He's like the most innocent person. Everybody loves this guy. I don't know what it is. And he must get a lot of that too, because these women love him because he comes across kind of innocent and kind of playful and kind of like this. He reminds me of Ebb Dawson. Remember Ebb from Green Acres? Ah, Mr. Douglas, he's just, home from, I'll bet you he's, and he's just fun. And he's nice, and people love him. He interviewed a little girl who was blind for something, and he was so kind. He was interviewing a blind woman, and he said, if you touch my hands, can you tell if I'm old or young, or are your senses heightened? She says, I never really thought about this. My point is, Theo Vaughn, and he didn't know him. He didn't know him. I don't know what's going on here. I've never seen anything where somebody leaves an organization and they stop what they're doing to go after Candace. I can't believe it. See, I can't believe anything. I can't believe that I live in this world where I want to say, do you know what's going on here? Can you see what's going on here? Why is this $1 billion organization, TPUSA, going after her? Why? Why are these suing her? Why are all these people? Who is it? Shapiro's brother-in-law, whatever, is with Harmeet Dillon's law firm. And what's going on with this? Say, Mr. President, are these all your friends? Do you know what's going on here? Are you sure about this? Are you really sure about this? I mean, really, seriously, do you want to? My suggestion is, if you don't like what Candace is doing because of her position on Israel, whatever it is, just ignore her. Why are you going after her? Why did you actually write down, or have somebody write down in your name, that she's of below average IQ or low IQ? And Tucker? Bless you. I don't see that whole thing about bless you. I never understood that. I never say bless you. My family never said bless you. I didn't hear about bless you till later. Everybody said bless you. Bless you for what? Bless me for what? Remember the old story that says, well, if when you sneeze, your heart stops. No, it doesn't. Cubans will say this. If you sneeze, they say por Jesús. For Jesus, your sneeze goes up. But if you fart, they say por diablo, for the devil. You didn't know that, did you? So anyway, I'm sitting around right now, and I just don't know what I have my friends are so full of shit. They're talking about Iran. I said, get out. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Nothing. Iran's doing everything. They said, well, he closed down the Strait of Hormuz. No, he didn't. I'm getting ours. Russia's getting ours. Everybody else is, I'm getting ours. They close it down for you. And he's charging you a toll. And Victor Davis said, well, we got the warthogs and we're going to strafe. You're going to strafe? Seriously? This is the genius? You're going to attack Iranian. Anybody see what's wrong with attacking a tanker? Anybody? Can anybody have seen this? By the way, pocket full of posies. If you sneeze, the reason for the posies is because of all the smell. Remember, ring around the rosy. It was a sign of the redness. Pocket full of posies. You would keep the flowers to help to dull the smell of the rotting flesh. Ashes, we all fall down ashes because they would burn the bodies. You understand this? This is the most incredible thing in the world. I don't know about you, but I'm thinking I have no one. Nothing makes sense to me. I don't know what I'm going to do in terms of any kind. I am done with, there is no one. I'm thinking third party. It's done for me. What am I going to do? What are you going to do? What are we going to do? What are we doing here? This is the most, I don't know. Let me ask you something. What is the issue, dear friends, that makes it, that you think is the most annoying of them all? What is What are we doing? What drives you crazy? Number one. What is it? What is it? The one thing. Some of your stuff is fantastic. What is the one issue where you think to yourself, this is the biggest issue of them all? You're changing all the time. You're right about this. I'm changing my name. Changing your name, very different thing, by the way. Memorial weekend, $22 per pound ribeyes. $5.60 a gallon. That's horrible. Lies. You know we're done, right? As a country, we're seriously. Nobody cares about you. Nobody cares about you because you know what they do? They figure you don't know what's going on. You don't know what's going on. They're not worried about you at all. The president doesn't worry about it because you're not going to be bothered by that. You're not going to be talking about something else. Kash Patel is talking about releasing UFOs. That stuff again too. I'm just sick of it. I've got to turn this off. I was listening today to, when I want to get my Iran news, I go to RT, I go to Al Jazeera, I go to Al Arabiya, I go to, believe it or not, you ready for this? You know who I'm hearing? Drudge. Some of the lefties are actually reporting because, hear me out, they want to do anything that makes Trump look bad. At least that's their goal. That's their alleged goal. So what they're doing is they will bring up something I think, that's pretty good. And I don't want the president to fail. But he's got to get rid of these people. He's got to get rid of Jared Kushner and Witkoff and all these other people and say, stop this. Stop this. And I can't tell any of my conservative friends. I don't understand it. So what do you have? Nothing. But I listen to them. I listen to Judge Napolitano, who is phenomenal. 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 Have you seen this guy, Morandi? I think his name is, was it Mohammed Morandi? He was born in the United States, but he lives in Tehran, speaks perfect English. And Piers Morgan called him a propagandist for Iran. He goes, I'm not a propagandist. This is my country. Yeah, well, you're. How stupid is Piers Morgan? Do you know what he said? He doesn't even realize it. A propaganda. Well, is Victor Davis Hanson a propagandist? Yes. He actually said that to him. He said that. Piers Morgan thinks because he has a British accent that you think he's smarter than you. British people, most of them are absolutely, positively, 100% wonderful. Then there are people like the people who come along who believe that they're smarter than you. And there are some people who believe that people with British accents are smarter. And I cannot believe this jadrul is on. He doesn't understand it. This is, I'm telling you, my friends, this is going to get serious. What is Trump going to say when he took the 10-point plan versus the 15? The 10-point is basically Iran's plan, and he got nothing. What is he going to do? Levin's going to go out of his mind. The usual suspects are going to go mine. And I'm going to say, fine, Mr. President, you should have done this in the first place. I'm telling you, we got a big problem. And then I'm still seething. When I saw that suicide note from that Epstein stuff drives me nuts. This is such a waste of time. We never got to the bottom of that. You don't have any faith in the government. You don't believe anybody. We don't believe any of this stuff. And there's this pervasive idea in this country. For some reason, I don't know why, but there's this pervasive idea that somehow this is okay. Because what they're doing is they are habituating you to this. They are habituating you to the notion of these types of horrible, terrible people. These are the people that I'm telling you, these are the people that are the biggest problem in the world. These are people, I'm sorry to say this, but it's true. They want you to get used to it. And when I heard, what's his face today? When I heard, of all things, don't get me started. Something about, I used to like, I thought in the old days, I used to like Dershowitz. I really did. I thought he was good. Thought he made sense. You know what I mean? Thought it was kind of good. Now, my friends, the big news today, too, is Ted Turner died. Who remembers, was it 1980, maybe 80, whatever? Who remembers the beginning, the advent of CNN? Who remembers it? Who remembers it, kids? Do you remember CNN? Do you remember cable news? How exciting it was. It was great. Do you remember this? It was wonderful. It was, they had the best people on oh my God. It's whenever there was something of importance, you respected these people. And Ted Turner, it was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Beauteous. They always start off at 6:05. My friend, my great friend, Gordon Sully, was on WTBS. I think it was a superstation, Channel 17. And he did Georgia Championship Wrestling. He used to fly from Tampa to Georgia all the time. He was like my best friend. Oh my God, we traveled, partied. Those were wild days. Wild. And something happened. Ted Turner says, I like wrestling. He said, okay. And Gordon was always very, very serious about it. And it was kind of NWA, so to speak. It was like Florida. It was usually the Ole Anderson and the Freebirds and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, so they go back and forth. And in the old days, people would, like with radio, they would fill in a diary book. You would fill in the diary, and you would fill it in. And people would say, well, I watched Masterpiece Theater, and then I watched the Philharmonic. I watched the news. No, you didn't. Or you'd give it to your kid, and the kid would fill it in. The Nielsen box came along, and I remember when Ted Turner called Gordon and said, Gordon, wrestling, we're number one. He said, we are number one. You're killing them. And he knew it because people loved that kind of smaller venue wrestling. And he was great. And it was interesting. And it was, remember HBO, who's going to pay for cable? What are you talking about? Then they had this thing called remember, not Jazzercise. Remember the women doing the dance? It was supposedly, I don't know what they're doing. They had these kind of like loose fitting, they had like leotards, but they were dripping, soaking wet, and they were doing all these kicks, and the camera was coming between their legs, and they going like that. And I go, what is this? I know what it was, but it was huge. These women were just dripping wet, and they're going like that, and they're doing the cameraman was like, you would never know what the actual exercise was, but you would get these. I said, this is porn. It was beautiful. And it was wonderful. And we said, wow, look at the reception. Wow. It changed everything. Cable TV. Wow. It was wonderful. It was just the most incredible thing. Who remembers TiVo? Remember when TiVo came along? TiVo was like the greatest thing in the world. TiVo is incredible. I can have a season pass. It'll record the same show. I don't have to set it every week. Ooh, remember that one? The VCR. You don't know. You people don't know because you were raising it because you're kids. You're kids. We could tape something and watch something that came on at 3:00 in the morning. Wow. It was liberating. It was the greatest thing in the world. It was liberating. It was when radio or TV weather was phenomenal. It was great. All this stuff happened. It was like, wow. And we didn't even, I remember when the AM went to FM. And the reason, by the way, I'm not trying to I'm not trying to wax uh, historic. This isn't historicity or anything along those lines. This is, I noticed the change and how the medium changed. Do you remember we had a TV set? Who had one of these TV sets like Sylvania or a Philco or something, this big wooden box? And it's a big tube. And it was so big that you had the TV repairman came to your house. We had Johnny Fernandez. I'll never forget Johnny. I can see him now. He had this mirror in front. He would do these things, horizontal hold, vertical hold. Your TVs were so big. These floor models, Zenith. Yeah, we had Zenith. They were just huge. Huge. It weighed a ton. And if they had to take it in, forget it. We didn't have portable TV. I think I had a like a big portable TV set, with the rabbit ears and all that. It was the most incredible. It was wonderful. But that TV, did you ever have a stereo in the living room that was this, it looked like the size of a coffin? You lift this lid up, and then on the side, they had like a little slot to put your albums, like 5, 10 albums, whatever. I said, what is this? But you would have like with the Zenith, and you drop it, had the FM AM. That was your stereo. Wow. Your kid was your remote. You see that? You better believe it. I was a goddamn remote. I was a change the channel. Change the channel. Curtis Mathis. Yes. Curtis Mathis. Remember Macintosh stereos? That's another one. These great little, these Curtis Mathis. Let me tell you something. It was wonderful. But we appreciated the notion. And then later on, as these things happened, you realized things got a little bit better. We had this terrible, terrible, stupid, awful, horrible little transistor radio. It was the worst. Maybe keep it under your pillow. I don't know. But at night with Skip, you can get different stations. Had that little tiny earpiece, this little plastic thing with a dial, and it was awful. But you might be able to pick something up. And Skip, of course, worked because it was amplitude modulation. Class, what is that? AM, amplitude modulation. So what it would do was, this is my globe, it would go like this. And when it would bounce like this, it would go below the equator, below the line of sight. So you could pick up stations down here because of the skip. But FM frequency is line of sight. That's it. If you're standing in front of that antenna going the wrong way, forget it. It was great. And then all of a sudden it got really better, a little bit better. Boom boxes. And then the Walkman. Oh my God. Look at this. People are looking for those. We had Radio Shack. You would get those little things. And they had sometimes they had a little leather pouch, a travel case with a little snap. Remember that? And you carried it. That was it. Walkman came along. Dear God, that's the greatest thing in the world. Oh my God. Oh my God. With a cassette. This is fantastic. And now the greatest thing in the world is Spotify. Spotify. I cry at Spotify. I got a couple albums here just for the hell of it. But just because. Do I have the one? I got some Grand Funk. I've got the Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass. Remember the whipped cream? Remember that? Remember the famous one? When you were a kid, like, look at that. She's naked. She's not naked. Oh, I know, but she's Herb Alpert. I've got that one somewhere. I'll show it to you one day. Albums. Head shops. Going into an album. Going in to buy an album. Putting your fingernail across it. The texture. The stuff inside. The posters. The iron-ons. Chicago was great. They always gave you posters and pictures and iron-ons and all this. Double album. And some albums, you ready for this? Whippets. Look at you. Whip it good. Sometimes, some albums, from what I heard, I don't know, had a particular structure to it. A texture like Jesus Christ Superstar where if you were to sift certain tobacco products, they would drop. So seeds and stems, from what I read a lot of reading, it would, and then you would collect it in the middle and then throw it away. And then, because you don't want it to canoe and you don't want those popping seeds, as I read. Did you ever see somebody the old day with a tie that had a little hole in it? I know where that came from. I was a big reader in those days, big reader. Disc washers. You know how much stash was kept in a disc washer? Zero stat guns. The disc washer. Oh. And now we love it. I appreciate it. And I don't want to go back to those days, but there I was. Snap, crackle, and pop. Absolutely. Look at this. Look at this. Somebody says, I just got a spam from Turning Point. Here? GMA here? How do you block from happening? Don't do spam at all whatsoever. Here, dear heart, dear God. Turning Point USA. Cannot believe it. Cannot believe it. The stuff. Some of these things that are just, anyway. Sometimes I think back, my friend, like you do. I don't want to go back to it. Just remember this. Wouldn't you love to go? Seriously, can I ask you a question? How many of you have never been to a drive-in? Remember when you seeds and stem, my friends, you'd roll a joint and it sounded like a it sounded like a damn maraca. Half the time you were smoking twigs and seeds. Oh, you dopers, you stoners there. It's like maracas. Pow! In the tie. From what I read. Wouldn't you love to do this? Wouldn't you love to? I'm serious. I would go to a drive-in somewhere just for the hell of it. To roll your window down a little bit, put that terrible speaker on, weighed about 50 pounds. Nothing. It was just, this was it. You see, in Florida, we had 20th century and all this. These bats would attack and hit they would dive. And I mean, it was wild. And it was, people would go to, man, I mean, it's perfect. I mean, let's face it, if you want to go wild, you couldn't see anything. Remember that? Look at this. Look at this. The Roz Rodriguez says, my parents took me all the time to drive-ins and left you there. Just kidding. Roz, did you ever sneak in the back of a trunk? Tell me. Did you ever sneak in the back of the trunk? The lowest form of life. Stuckies. Peanut brittle. Did you ever do that, Roz? Come on, be honest. Did you ever do that? Did you ever do that? One time I went to used the John. I told you this story. And I would go back in the middle to where this, because you would look and say, where's the snack bar? The snack bar. Where is it? And you see this cinder block in the middle where the projector was. And they had this awful food. And then you turn around and come back and you say, where the hell's my car? It's just, there's nothing. No lights, you see the shadows of cars. You go, where was I? And you're going up to each car like this. You go, golly, you pervert. I'm not being, Mom, where am I? Every car. And I was very good in the old days. I could tell all the cars from the rear, but if they had their lights on. But it'd take forever. So whenever you went to that John, you came back, forget it. And they had the worst food. Drive-in food. I want you to take the worst food you've ever had, drop it down. Institutionalize it. Drop it down some more. Suck all the flavor out. Drop it down. Take any organic, non-chemical, make it completely synthetic. Drop it down even lower. Go as low as you can before you're eating epoxy or something. That's what it was. Pizza was, you wouldn't even recognize it as pizza. I don't know where they got this from. I don't know what country they got it from. Those were the days, my friends. Those were the days. Look at this. Guilty in the trunk. Look at this. Is that what the kids called it? Guilty in the trunk. Susan Mann, by the way. Susan Mann, a respectable member of society, in the back of a trunk because you didn't want to cough up the what? $1.50? Come on. That wasn't the point. It was fun. It was fun. Look at this. During COVID, I love this. During COVID, I guess our out farms had created a drive-in to create business and did car food service. That's beautiful. I'm telling you, I think there's something. When I go to these theaters now, you know what I found out? Have you done this? They tried this here, where you're sitting at your little desk, or not your desk, your chair, and there's a QR code, and you take your phone out and you go like this and you look at it. Okay. And it's like, turn that thing on. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get the QR code. The lights are going on. And you people say, what does this say? I can't read this. And try to order something. And then I realize I can't eat in the dark. I don't want to eat in the dark. I can't eat in the dark. I guess I couldn't be blind. I'm sorry to say this, but it's like it ruins it. You see what I'm saying? It ruins it. My phones won't work. Stop donating. I love this. Look at this. Gasoline was 18 cents a gallon. A pack of cigarettes, 35 cents. Fred, what era was this? I don't know what cigarettes are now in New York. I have no idea. $20? It's unreal. And gas is going to get real expensive right now because he's using the reserve stuff for a while there. My friends, I'm sorry. I hope you don't think, I know what you're thinking. Is he doing this nostalgia bullshit again? Is he doing it? Yeah, it's not nostalgia. It's history. And there was something about it that was different. Now, there was something which I think you have to understand. $17, 1967. Lengitis says, Lionel, I loved your analysis this afternoon of defamation and legal jargon. By the way, Candace mentioned you again last night. I did not know that. What did she say, pray tell? She's a doll, isn't she? She's just, I just think she's great. I think you can tell. And I don't like people. You know who I really liked? I like Coach Colin, too. I liked him a lot. I think the world of Barron. I've got Fredo coming up Friday. These are nice. I feel like I know these people. Isn't that weird? Don't you feel like you know? Don't you feel like you know Candace? If you saw her, somebody go, hey! She probably said, what's the matter? Hey, Candace, it's me. It's me. Who are you? You know. I'm in the thing. I'm in the thing. I'm JQ3 1940. I don't know who you are. Unbelievable. She's so, let me tell you, she does stuff she doesn't even know what she's doing. She doesn't know what I'm saying. She knows what she's doing. She has an ability to, first of all, you'll like her. She's smart as. Have you ever gotten lost in some of the names? I admit it. I am not up to the roll call. TPUSA, this one, this, and this, Tyler Brownfield, and this, and the Lipschitz did this, and I don't know these names. I hate these people. But she remembers everything they did, everything they said. And I'm thinking, poor George is thinking, what the fuck did I do? I didn't do anything. That's your business. I know. George is thinking, what did I do? Doing my bad British. I go, George, don't worry about it. What did I do? That's what you get. That's what you get for loving me. Gordon Lightfoot. But I think she's it's the damnedest thing. There's never been anything where you meet these people. Let me ask you something. Seriously. If I put on a party, I'll answer the question myself. If I said, listen, we're going to have kind of like these are doing they call fanfare. Fanfare was Nashville did it. And they were great in the old days where the country music stars wanted to meet with you and you would go to Nashville. When will you chat with Candace? You know what, Raul? I put out the word anytime. I don't want to bother. I told her, I said, I would be, I don't want to. I put out the word. She's probably very busy, but I would love it. Ready for this? You are in the Happy Warrior Club with Baron, Theo, Candace, and Tucker. Oh, absolutely. You know, Tucker and I used to talk on the air years ago. How is it? Tucker was great, but he was on MSDNC or something, and I used to talk to him then. But that's as close as I got. The more I target Candace, the bigger she gets. Absolutely, it's wonderful. You're right about that. You're right about that. See, that's the thing that people feel this. I don't know how you say it. There's this thing about loving somebody where you love them and you don't know why. Let me explain something, okay? If you know me, you're going to hear this. Is he going to do the macaroni and cheese? Yes. It's the macaroni and cheese theory. Fanfare, the best week in Nashville. Absolutely. Oh, before I forget, if I told you, listen, there's going to be a place, might be Nashville, might be some other place. Candace is going to be there. Everybody. Candace, Baron, Theo. Well, not Theo. It's Theo Von. But, and we'd have links. It's like, okay, we all have a tag. And we say, okay, the Lionel Nation group is over here. Here's your tag. So you walk around and you say, okay, I want to, because you probably, you've been in the Baron group, you probably talk to the Baron people, and then you say, wait a minute, are you Polly Walnuts? Are you Polly Cigars? There he is. Polly Cigars. This man, God bless you. Remember, Polly Cigars, if ever you're in the Bronx, I'm telling you, Arthur Avenue, not Little Italy, Arthur Avenue. You've got to see him. I still got my cigars here. Polly Cigars, the best. But anyway, wouldn't you do it? Wouldn't you love to sit there and I'll bet you it would be packed. If people just came out, it would be it would, and I'm thinking to myself, what am I doing? If you saw her, it's weird because you know these. It's the macaroni and cheese thing. Macaroni and cheese. People love macaroni and cheese. Kids love macaroni and cheese. The Kraft macaroni and cheese in the box with that orangey stuff for the powder and the phenomenal. Don't touch it. Whatever it says, don't put sour cream in there, don't put bacon. No. Just do what it says. That's it. And when it's in the pan or the pot or whatever it is, you can stick a fork in it and pull it out. It's like congealed. I used to eat it congealed. I said, this is great. Now, why is this so good? I don't know. Because of the what? I don't know. Okay, this is macaroni. Okay. Macaroni can't be too big. How about pasta, spaghetti, and no. It's got to be macaroni. By the way, you know that in New York, all the Italians call all pastas macaroni. Everything's macaroni. No matter what it is. Ziti, but it doesn't matter. No. Why? I don't know why. It just is. Because I don't know. I don't know why. That's like with Candace. What is it? What do you like about her? I like her. She connects with you. She tells a good story. It's the only appointment stuff. I get on my phone 30 minutes ago. Okay. I don't watch shit. I don't watch anybody watch her. And I want to get it fresh. I want to know this is happening now. You know what I mean? This is happening now. She didn't get this later. It's happening now. And that's it. I don't want to do it. Like I love this. And now she can't do it. Please. She can't do it. Like, don't, but like, what her, her kids, but you can't do that. You can't show anything about where you live or your kids or any of that stuff. Don't do that. But even last night, she goes, oh, look, hey, she's in a new angle. What is it? She's like talking. Hey, there's a bookshelf. I think I'm demented. What am I doing? I'm going to be 68 years old. And I'm going, hey, she's got a bookshelf. Like, what is the matter with me? I'm out of my mind. But she was great. And she was just riffing. Oh, my God. That wasn't a prompter. This gal's got it. And she doesn't say like, she never says like, what the fuck was I going to say? Hang on a minute. I was going to make a point. Never, never. It's incredible. This poor woman, I loved government cheese. I want to party with you. You know that, Rodriguez? You know how many Rodriguezes I've known in my life? Rodriguez, Fernandez, Hernandez, Garcia. Oh my God. Look at this one. Phthalates, which are chemicals used to soften plastics, are present in nearly all powdered cheese, like mac and cheese. Well, so what? So what? Let me tell you something. If you've got grandkids or kids or whatever it is you want to say, I'm going to show you something. What is it? I'm going to show you something. What is it? Jiffy Pop. What is it? You'll see. Is it popcorn? It's popcorn, but it's different. She's different. All right. What is it? Watch this. Remember that? There's a thing with it. Kind of, you got to take that. One time I didn't take the cardboard off it as a kid. And you just have that wire gets real hot. We didn't have a gas stove, we had an electric. So you're going like this, and you were saying, what am I doing? Just wait. There's one. And it starts to rise like a little gym, like one of these bouncy gym things in the back of somebody's birthday. Like, look at this. This is great. And they'd always burn and whatever it was. So anyway, the chemicals in there. Oh, Jesus God. You know what I love? My favorite snack? Microwave popcorn. Just nothing on it. I like nutritional cheese, Nooch. That's it. And those containers. And you make it and just put it aside. It's the best thing in the world. When you want to go, I'm a popcorn fan. It's wonderful. Low calorie, just kind of does that kind of a thing. Nothing fancy. But that Jiffy Pop was the best. Okay, you ready for this? Okay. I'm going to say this. TV dinners. Swanson and... what was the other one? Swanson and whatever the other one was. And you put in the oven. It was like, this is great. My sister and I go, this is great. I go, what is this? It's a TV dinner. Banquet. Thank you. Well, Banquet was a little fancier. We were like Swanson. Hungry Man. No, Hungry Man. That came later on. No, the Swanson was the one. That was like the really cheap one. Yeah, the brownie. Listen to Paulie Cigars. You son of a bitch. You're right. I was going to say that. They give you this stupid thing. It was like some government reject. And that, like a chicken leg. It's like, this is a chicken? What was it? Are you sure? What was this? What was it? An embryo? Well, we got to fit it in there. So, what are they, mutant? Just eat it. The peas were like, I don't know what the peas were. But he was like, this looks weird. And they had that mashed potatoes with something. This mashed potatoes, you could spackle. You could do drywall with this stuff. But you waited for the brownie or this little tart or some kind of thing like, yeah. I'm thinking, we're demented. I'm demented. But it was fun. You know why, Paulie? Because we didn't go out to eat. Did you ever go out to eat? Did you go to restaurants when you were kids? No. Maybe you get a pizza. Maybe for us. Len Guida says, Jiffy Pop is awesome. Barron is alive and well. Jeremy Boring is scum and his show. Pendragon is awful. Yes, I was watching that. Well, Barron, I think, Barron's such a good guy. Barron's doing deep dive. What am I talking about? I'm talking about with Paulie. I'm talking about the little brownie with this fun. Because I'm talking about deep stuff. This is just some of the stuff which is just kind of sort of fun kind of thing. I just love that stuff. And now, what are kids going to say? Hey, what do you remember about being a kid? What? Remember Christmas time when I got a spirograph from Kenner. Remember, was it Kenner? Yeah, spirograph. Hasbro, Kenner was one. And I got a spirograph to go, look at this. Whoa. Okay. Oh, let's try another one. Oh, look, it's a little different. Oh, look at this. Oh, okay. Okay. Put it back in the box. That's it. Use it up. That's my gift. Ma, just for nothing. Is this the gift? You got me what? A tracing? What is this? It's a spirograph. Operation. Remember that with that? Did you ever play that little beetle game with the magnet where you would go like this? You would move this little beetle. I'm thinking, what am I doing? Hey, this is great. Operation. Have the battery. Always hit some bumps. Bump my sister. You did it. No, I didn't do it. No. No, it was you. It was clearly you. Those games where you would push that plastic dome with a die would pop, and we would sit there. We would play games and laugh, and we'd talk to each other. We would talk to each other, and you learn how to cheat. You learn things like this, like a old maid. Remember this? Old maid. This is the first time it's like, okay, we're going to play this. I'm going to tell you, we're going to have to teach you this thing called a tell. What's that? Well, let me tell you something. If you're playing with two people, it's nothing. But if you're playing with enough people, the old maid, it gets interesting. And when you get that thing, you better, I said, don't let anybody know this. And don't all of a sudden, don't hold your cards up and then one card is up like this. Unless that's not the card. And you want somebody to go, I'm not going to take that one. I'm going to take the one next to it. And then they take it and you see that look on their face. And they realize, you son of a bitch, you got me. And I'm thinking, why don't you just tell everybody that you got the old maid? I don't have the old maid. Yes, you do. Don't tell people. It's fun. It was fun. Did you ever play blind man's bluff? I thought that was one of the greatest things in the world. I don't know why. A bunch of us putting on the blindfold, just jumping on beds, and you're trying to tag people. And I mean, you'd run into stuff. It's one thing when you do it in your home, but if you go to your cousin's house or something, you don't know the layout, you run into doors and desks, and you get hurt. I'm telling you, it's one of the things. I love that stuff. Look at this. You're killing me. Look at this. Patti LaBelle. I got one for you. You know what I got for Christmas? My sister got a Susie Homemaker or a Susie play, whatever. Betty Homemaker, Susie Homemaker. That thing where there was a light bulb in there. I said, how the hell is this light bulb supposed to warm it? No, I said, it's a 61 light bulb. She's still waiting. She's still waiting. But here's the batter. Okay. Put it in. All right. Okay. 6 hours later. Easy bake. Thank you very much. Thank you. See that? You knew this. You knew this. You knew this. I'm staying even afterwards because I love Lionel. Listen to you. You see what I'm doing is there's some stuff which is just fun. I one time got one of the best games ever. A wood burning pyrography. Pyrography. You didn't know what I named, did you? Pyrography. I got a piece of like balsa, like a thin, and you would take this wand, plug it in. It was like orange and glowed. It's like 1800 degrees. You could smelt iron with this thing. Glowing. I'm a kid. Plugging this thing in. Put a little device at the end, and of course you hold the balsa in your hand. And one time my father's reading the paper. Always read the paper. I don't know why, because it wasn't a lot to read. Are you reading it again? Anyway, he said, what's that smell? I said, I'm burning. I got this red thing. Goes, I'm burning. He goes, what? You gave it to me. I don't know what I'm buying. What is it? It's a wood burning set. Oh, okay. He didn't say, watch out, you hurt yourself. Watch out. Watch out, you'll hurt yourself. No. If you hurt yourself, well, you hurt yourself. But no, we never got hurt. Never got hurt. I told him, I said, do you realize today, would you give your kids wood burning, a wand that you could basically weld with? I don't understand it. Something happened. We were protected by virtue of the fact that if we got hurt, so what? We earned it. I had a firecracker go off in my hand one time. I had my arm like this. I said, okay, hang on. I get ready to light it. And he lights it. And the fuse kind of went and pow. I didn't want to look. It's like, my hand's okay. But my nails turned black. And there was like a vibrating, like all weak. It's like, this is weird. And then we went to the doctor, to it. Neurological. He goes, you'll be okay. Lawn darts. Look at this. I recently visited Amos Miller's raw milk fame, organic farm in Bird in Hand, Pennsylvania. Great real food, nothing processed, a must. Bring extra money. I've got to go there, and I want to go to see the Amish. And I like to go to these little farms. My wife and I go to this place called Ort's Farm in Jersey. I don't know where it is. In the summertime, phenomenal. When it's corn season, I buy more corn than you can imagine. More corn. Ladies and gentlemen, this changed my life. Lawn darts or jarts. The most dangerous thing ever. Etch-a-sketch. Original Titan says, Slinky. Mine never went down the stairs right. And mine always got tangled up. You know what I'm saying? I don't get that. Jarts. A dart. A dart. Absolutely one of the most beautiful things. 5 pounds of metal with fins in an arrow-like configuration. You throw it up in the air. It comes down. You're done. I would love this. Absolutely, positively would love that. You kids don't know that, do you? You kids don't know that. You think Ben Shapiro knows about this? No. Come on. This schmuck still thinks he's popular. You know what it's like to realize you're hated by everybody? Isn't that sad? Your fate is to realize everybody thinks you're an asshole, and you don't know it. Raul says, Play-Doh. Oh, yes. Play-Doh. And then 2 things. 1, did you leave this open? Well, did you leave this open? Turns into a rock. You could take out an army with them. And then, did you mix it? You guys say, what is this? I got the blue and the red. Did you mix this? Remember the smell of Play-Doh? The smell. Certain things were the smell. The smell of Play-Doh. I loved it. I know it's tough. It's an absolutely wonderful. Do you understand how terrific it was? This is the most important thing in the world, my friend. Yeah, I love the smells of things. I love the synthetics. I love this. This is the most important thing about it. I don't think we have that anymore, my friends. I've talked enough. You don't want to talk. I think I ate it. You know what? It was salty. This poor man. Who is this? This is poor. I have no idea what that means. Vacant Krahart. I used to eat that. Yes, I did sometimes. Do you remember Silly Putty? What was Silly Putty known for? What did you think? Oh, paper copies, ditto machines. What did you do with Silly Putty? What was the story? Come on, see if you got it. Who gets it first? What did you use Silly Putty for? What'd you do with it? Came in the little egg. Remember that? What'd you do with it? Comics. You hear that? You see this right now? You would take it and you would spread it out and you put it on comics and you pull it back on and go, hey, look at that. And you can stretch it. That's great. That's it. That's it. That's what you did. Do you remember the Super Ball by Whammo? Remember that? The Super Ball. It was this hard rubber. It was like a rock. It was wonderful. And it was this rock. And you would hit it would go straight up forever. We would play baseball with it. It went inordinately far. Did you know that Lamar Hunt named the Super Bowl after the Super Ball? Probably didn't know that. Probably didn't know that. But his kids were playing with a super ball. Okay, really stupid now. You redder? Redder? Are you redder? What does that mean? That means more red. Stingray, banana seat kind of a bikes. And you ready for this? I'm going to say this. Cards, playing cards with a clothespin in the actual thing. Come on. Come on. Remember that one? That would amuse us. Action figures. Who had G.I. Joes? Superhero. G.I. Joe right here. Come on. It was wonderful. It was just little things. And you know what else we did, my friends? We talked. I had a Schwinn varsity that was stolen and then brought back years later. It's another story. BB guns for pussies. I had a Crossman. Pumped the thing. Used to get the pellets in the little milk carton. That thing, a pellet gun where you pump this thing. Oh, man. And you would always figure, you're going to lose your eye. We had wrist rockets. We had slingshots. We had a sick guy in the neighborhood. Something wrong with him. But he took an M80. Not the Ashkin, but an M80. His mother was into art crafts. He had a glue gun. He took an M80 with glue, rolled it in BBs for shrapnel. This is dangerous. He had it and threw it. We hit the deck. We hit the deck, the grass, and we're just like so afraid that we would be pelted with his shotgun pellets, which is what it really was. Oh my God. You see, growing up in Florida, we had in the Carolinas where all the great fireworks were. And when people would come back from summer vacation, we always went on vacation. Everybody went, and you would drive. You would drive in your car. You went with your. So when we would go to the Carolinas, people would write orders to come back, and I'd get Black Cat. The artwork is phenomenal. Black Cat firecrackers, bottle rockets, M80s, cherry bombs, everything you can imagine. Everything. So as one guy came back, remember the powder? Remember that gray powder? Remember that gray? It was this wonderful powder from Japan or China, wherever the hell it came from, China, and that wonderful. It was like talcum powder, but it was gunpowder, and it was on your hand. I'm sure it was carcinogenic. I'm sure. So anyway, my friend at the time had on his bed. He had all the packets that he was divvying out because he made a little service fee, made a few bucks. He was filling the orders. Unbeknownst to him, this powder, this gunpowder, kind of was all over in his bed. He couldn't see it because the color was dark, kind of blended in. He didn't realize this, but he was smoking or did smoking something. I don't know what he was smoking. And the match somehow came into contact with this bedspread that was laden with this powder, this gunpowder. And it was, didn't make a noise because it wasn't contained. And the father heard something, smelled something, ran in. And I didn't imagine, I can imagine, the springs, but it was really serious. We risked our lives constantly. I love those days. Love those days. Tubbsy, football, baseball cards. I'm smoking a bong. Thank you, Patty. Water balloons, yes. Prediction, Erica Kirk for president. You know what? Absolutely. They are so stupid, these people. Action Jackson. Rock'em Sock'em Robots. He knocked my block off. Remember that the head would go up? That's enough. Who needs whoopee cushions? Thing makers. I flipped Mickey Mantle's rookie card, all scratched up, now worth millions. Play-Doh never needed salt. Fair enough. Fair enough, my friends. Now, my friends, I'm going to leave you now. Wasn't that fun? Wasn't that fun? I know some of you wanted to talk about Ben Shapiro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But I didn't want to do that. And I know you're upset with me. I know you wanted to talk about Ben. I didn't do any deep dives. I didn't do any deep dives. I didn't talk about anybody. I wanted to talk about stuff that makes us happy. Because God knows we sometimes, just for this moment of respite, we think, you know what, I haven't thought about that in a long time. Because it was fun. And you know what also was great about it? It was very innocent. It's very innocent. We didn't hurt anybody. It was no dope. We don't know. Well, maybe for you, but nothing. No iPhones, no internet. It was just fun. That's all it was. So I thank you. I want to thank you, wonderful people, for your very kind contributions and the like. We'll be back tomorrow. Please see my video today on my legal tutorial on libel per se and the like, and why Laura Loomer better be very, very careful. And also some other aspects about just this wonderful, why anybody would want to pick Ben Shapiro for anything for that matter is another story. All right, dear friends, thank you. Look at this. Rick Jackson says, thank you, Lionel. I haven't thought about those things in a very long time, and I'm smiling. Isn't that true? Isn't that right? It's nostalgic. It was nostalgic. Look at this. I like this. No need to apologize. I'd rather talk about the olden days. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes. Loomer has lost her mind. Yes. What's left of it, indeed. I wonder if she ever enjoyed Play-Doh or any of that stuff. I mean it. I hate to keep saying it, but what are these young folks going to say today? What did you remember when you were a kid? Had an iPhone? Good. Anyway, we love you all, my friends. Thank you immensely. Thank you greatly. Thank you for everything. Please remember, please like this video. Subscribe to the network. Tell your friends. Tell your friends. Later on, take this and send it and say, watch this. Watch what they talk about. Because this is what it also should be about. It should be about confabulation. It should be about society, dealing with each other, just socializing, visiting, as we used to say in the South. Remember when people would come to your house and they would visit? They would visit. They'd just show up. I think this Maniscalco, the comedian, does a great piece on that. They would show up. They would have the Entenmann's cake, and they would visit. And now today we hide. Anyway, so we visited. All right, my friends, have a great, great day. Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow. And until then, my friends, remember, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Da-da.